Okay, in today's lesson, you're going to be solving exponentials and log equations. We've done exponentials earlier in the year, so this is going to be a little quick review over that. So I'm going to do a little bit on exponential, a couple examples, and then you can go to your Google slide, and then I'll come back and do a little video over the logs. Okay, so we did these kind of earlier in the year, and if you remember, that's called an exponential equation because x is up in the exponent. So in order to undo that, we have to do the inverse of that, which is a log. So remember, we know logs go base, answer, power, right? Or you have exponential form. Okay. So if I look at my exponential form, I want to go back to log form. So I can go log in base 3 of 15 equals x. Now, in class, we had graphing calculators where we just stuck that in. If you don't have a graphing calculator, TI is offering a free download to your computer, and it'll look just like my calculators you have in class. So I posted that in Google Classroom a while ago. If you want to go in there, I'll move it to the top of Google Classroom. So if you want to go in and click that, you can click that and get that download. Okay, but the answer is 2.46. Okay, alternate way to do this. If 3 to the x equals 15. Okay, and this might be a workaround for some of you guys that like to use your iPhone. We can actually change the bases in it. So if you agree that you can do anything you want to an equation, as long as you do the exact same thing to both sides, this method will work. So I'm going to just start by doing the opposite of the exponent, which is a log, and I'm going to do it to both sides. Now, according to the properties we did yesterday, when you have a power, it gets to be written out front and be multiplied. Okay? The last step is this is being x times that, so I would divide this over. So you could do these on your iPhone or just a regular calculator, but I will caution you, you must use parentheses around the numbers. So log of 15 divided by log of 3, you'll still get 2.46. So if you don't have a graphing calculator and don't want to go to the hassle of downloading one, you can try this method. So I guess in a sense, it's really you're taking the log of the answer part divided by the log of the base part and use parentheses. This is actually what we call change of base formula. So it is a no method. It's a method I learned when I was growing up because we didn't have a fancy calculator that did that. So either method, you pick which one you want to use. They both work. You get you the same results. Okay, so let's try one with an e. So again, we talked about these earlier in the year. So if you have an e to the x, that's exponential. And the inverse of that would be an ln. So remember ln, again, it still has to be base, answer, power. But when we do ln, the base is always e. Okay, the answer here is 15, the power is x. When you go to put this on the calculator already knows there's an e there, so you don't technically type that in. You just put ln of 15. And when I type that one in, I get about 2.71. Okay? If I want to do it the other way, if I don't have a fancy calculator, want to use my iPhone, I would start by lning both sides. The opposite of an exponent is a log, so ln is still a natural log. That x will come out front. Okay? Because that's multiplied, then you end up dividing that over. Again, like I said earlier, when you put this in your calculator, make sure you use parentheses around those. You'll notice you'll still get 2.71. Okay? So pick whatever method you like. Okay, next little example here, we got 5 to the x equals negative 19. Go to solve this one, you're going to rewrite it back to a log form. So base is 5, answer is negative 19, power is x. Okay? If you go to try to do this on your calculator, you're going to find out that it gives you an error. Keep in mind, when we do logs, that graph, the domain has to be greater than equal or greater than 0. So we can't log negative 19. There's nothing in there that's going to work. It also is talking about exponentially, there's no power you can ever stick in there and get out a negative 19. So kind of watch out for some of those that are no solution. Maybe just get in the habit of checking your answers, substituting back in, and making sure you're getting what you started with. Okay, last little part here, let's look at some more complicated type equations. So when we're solving exponentials, we really just want to get the exponent part by itself first. So this 4, I'm going to move it over and I'm going to get 45. And now at this point, I can either do the log button, which is under alpha window, or I can do the log of 45 divided by the log of 3. So I'm going to go over here, log of 3 of 45. That's my base, that's my answer. My power is 2x minus 7. Okay, so this log and base 3 of 45 is about 3.46. And then I'm going to add that 7 over to make 10.46. And then I have to divide that by 2. Okay, again, you can get in the habit of checking your answers. If you did 3 to the 2 times 5.23 minus 7 plus 4, it should be really close to 49. It might not be exact because we rounded off, but it should be close. Again, alternate method, if I don't have a fancy calculator, I can log both sides. That exponent will come out front. And then I can divide over that log of 3, okay? So again, if you don't have a fancy calculator, you can still get the same result by doing this change of base. So when I stick log of 45 divided by log of 3, make sure you use parentheses. You still will get about 3.46, and then if you add over the 7 and divide by 2, you can see you get the same result, okay? So you pick the way you like. I'm kind of going to erase this one here though. I ran out of room when in my other spot. So moving on here, if I add over 7, okay, that would be 90. I'm going to rewrite it. Base of 5, answer, power. Okay, base, answer, power. Well, log and base 5 of 90 is about 2.8. And if I divide over that 4, I get about 0.699. Okay? So again, if you like the other method or don't have the right calculator, take log of 90 divided by log of 5 and equal it to 4x. Okay. Let's try this last one here, and I'll show you both ways on how to do this with an e. So again, get this exponential part by itself. I'm going to add over that 4. The opposite of an e is an ln, so I already know the base is e. If you want to write it, you can write it, but the calculator already knows it's there. You don't have to put it in. The answer is 29, and the power is 3x plus 5. So the ln of 29 is about 3.37. If I subtract over that 5, I'm going to get about negative 1.6, and if I divide by 3, I get negative 0.544. Again, you can check your answer. E to the 3 times negative 5.44 plus 5 minus 4, it's going to come out pretty close to 25. Okay, if I don't have that calculator and I'm going to try it the other way, we're going to start by logging both sides with ln. The power comes out front. And then we divide over that ln of e. Okay, those cancel. 3x plus 5, if I put in ln of 29 divided by ln of e, I'm still going to get about 3.37. And then from there, it's the same. Negative 1.6 when you subtract that, and if you divide by 3, you get negative 0.544. Again, you can check your answers and make sure you're doing them correctly. So that's all there is to solving exponentials. They're pretty much the same every time. Pick the method you like and stick with it. Always look out for ones that might be no solution or extraneous, things like that.